Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to the Nutra Narratives podcast. It has been quite a while since I've seen you. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be chatting with you and catching up after a few years now.
Yeah, how long has it been now? It's been a few.
Yeah, I graduated in 2017.
Wow.
2017. So it's been a few years. So
Yeah, and
it's about time.
I haven't seen you since graduation, so it is time.
hmm
Nice.
Thank you
I
for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. What an honor to have you. I'm so excited to just dig right into what you've done, but I do need to ask you first, what sparked your love for nutrition?
What sparked my love for nutrition?
Yeah,
So
bring it on.
I think it really started the summer after my freshman year in college, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was at Syracuse University, and my freshman year, just very studious, very focused, and kind of putting my health on the back burner to the point where eventually, I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't performing as well. I wasn't sleeping as well. So, the summer after my freshman year, I decided, what, I really want to make a change and kind of get my health back on track and prioritize that. So I kind of started where maybe a lot of, young adults start. I started, researching on my computer. I started picking up, Women's Health magazine and all these kind of like health magazines to
Mhm.
start reading them and trying to get, some kind of information. So that summer was the first time that I had joined even a gym. So I had started even like looking into bodybuilding and weight training. And so overall, like my love and passion for nutrition and subsequently fitness as well had started then. So I had gained a little bit of the freshman 15. So then I had started implementing, small changes in my daily life over that summer. I would drink more water. I would just focus on moving more, weight training, and just, getting excited about trying new healthful foods that I would read about. So that was really kind of what sparked my interest, was just me wanting to feel better and be more active in my life, I
Yeah.
would say.
And that is a great reason why you became a dietitian for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. And so then, what was the path then to become a dietitian for you?
So actually at Syracuse, I was a psychology major. So I always knew that I really wanted to help people in some way. And psychology and becoming a psychologist was one avenue that I could do that.
Yeah.
So I had begun pursuing that, but then with my interest in nutrition as well, I had picked up nutrition as a minor. So my undergraduate degree, I had interned at a psychiatric center actually, and that's kind of the second spark that happened. So I had been working, with the mentally ill population, and it was kind of at that time that I realized I wanted to do more preventative medicine. Um, as opposed to working with just very, very heavily medicated individuals. So, and just start the journey towards health earlier. So, I had started kind of even incorporating a little wellness center there. We had gone to like a farmer's market and a co-op, and I started doing like drug nutrient interaction information. So I would kind of take what I had knew from Syracuse and some of my classes, and I would bring it there to try and, help around there. But I had graduated as a psychology major and a nutrition minor. So there were many classes that I didn't have to become a registered dietitian. So I really, my track was very different than other dietitians. Normally, some people already know they want to be a dietitian when they enter undergraduate education. They go through a didactic program. and do all their coursework, and then graduate with just having to do their internship rotations and pass their registered dietetic exam. So for me, I actually graduated a semester early. So I graduated in December of 2013. And then from January to August, I had taken all my prerequisites for Loma Linda University, and to get into a dietetic and coordinated program. So I did all my classes, and then I had applied and got into Loma Linda. Very thankfully, it was a blessing, and pursued a coordinated program. So, having both the coursework and the internship rotations was really awesome, because, I think only about like 50% of individuals get the rotations post didactic program. So for me, having it all combined was really great. And the fact that Loma Linda offered a master's program and a master's degree as well, because eventually it's going to be required for dietitians.
Correct. 2024.
Exactly. Yeah. Originally it was 2020, I think, and then got pushed a little bit, then pushed a little bit, but I'm really happy that I was able to do it all at once.
Perfect.
So for me, it was that 3-year track where I did 2 years to become the registered dietitian, and then did my master's, and then sat for my exam in August of September of 2017, and I passed, and now I'm a dietitian. Now I can,
Yes.
do what I love and practice what I preach.
Yes, so true. So, was there an experience somewhere in between there, like at Cleveland Clinic, that you want to share? Because I think that is just so important to be able to share with our listeners.
Yeah. So the summer before my senior year of undergraduate education, I had a free summer. I really knew that I wanted to have some kind of experience in the nutrition field. I wanted to really know, before I had entered into a coordinated master's program, is this for me? Right? I really wanted to solidify, and get kind of a feel of what it's like, because I had the psychology experience with that other internship. So I said, let me try a nutrition internship. We did the psychology thing. Let's try something else. So I had reached out to a dietitian at the Cleveland Clinic Wellness Institute, Kristen Kirkpatrick, and had messaged her and said, I'm very interested in nutrition and dietetics, and I really love the mission of the Wellness Institute and this integrative and functional medicine approach, and just the integrative work. And she had emailed me back, and she said, sorry, I already have someone coming for the summer, but I would love to help you try to find another internship. So I had waited a few months. I kind of kept looking around a little bit. And then she emailed me back like months later, after we were like searching. And she said, the other lady that was going to come and intern with me had, a change of plans. So I would love to have you.
No way.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
it
I
was
love it.
the best news I think I had ever heard, and it really changed the trajectory of where I am today. So working with her, working with Kristen, I had learned so much from her. We had done nutrition counseling, we had done corporate lectures, we had done lectures at festivals. We would go to the grocery store, we'd go to Fox 8 News and do little videos, and we would write blogs, and then do cooking classes. So there were so many things that I learned there and was able to experience, and that's also kind of where it clicked. And I was like, I want to be in wellness. I want to be working with individuals to develop lifestyle changes and improve their optimal health and longevity of life. So I always knew I wanted to be in that realm, but that's not where I started in my career when I really started working as a dietitian.
Yeah. Got it. Wow. But that experience was so valuable to you because it made you feel really confident in your decision to do this other degree and in
100%.
nutrition. Okay.
100%. If it wasn't for that experience, um, and if it wasn't for Kristen, really, right? She's my mentor. Even today is a mentor for me. And I'm so grateful for that, to have someone that, believes in you and will always kind of have your back, and vice versa, me with her, is something very rare to find. And just someone that wants to build you up and help you grow, and kind of, you know, propel you in a forward direction. It's very rare. So I'm so thankful for her. And yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today without the Cleveland Clinic and without her. So very
That's
thankful.
that's such a beautiful thing that you have this relationship with her to this day.
Mhm.
It's an honor and a privilege to have a mentor and to have that mentor still be with you.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, I'm actually still under her consulting team, um,
Mhm.
of of dietitians. It's me and just a couple other dietitians. So yeah, we're still strong together. Yeah. So it's really nice.
That is great. You know what? The combination of a psychology degree and a nutrition degree is such a perfect pairing.
Hmm.
I think it's really to your advantage that you have that extra background.
Yeah, I really, because even with food, and I took a class in my undergraduate degree, for like psychology and eating disorders and things like that as well. And they're so heavily tied. And a lot of the times, food is not the issue. Food is just the mode of coping with other emotional factors, external factors that are causing stress. So sometimes a lot of, eating disorder issues are not, it's not a food issue. It's really not a food issue. It's another underlying issue that's manifesting itself in food. Some people overexercise, some people overeat, some people restrict eating. There's such a wide variety, and that's why, as a dietitian, taking the whole person and their whole life into consideration is so important, because we don't live in silos, right? We don't have these separate compartments, um, and you really have to, really get to know your clients or your patients, and kind of work with them, because you could tell someone to do something, but
Right.
you really have to find out what's going to work for them, and what they're willing to change, and what's achievable for them, and what their picture of optimal health is. Everyone's idea of what healthy and what health is different.
So true.
um, there's no cookie cutter. You can look up the definition of health in the dictionary, but that's not going to be everyone's definition of health. So knowing what a healthy life is like for them, is so important. And personalized nutrition is so important.
Oh, absolutely. I will put extra exclamation marks on.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. And so, after graduation, did you work immediately? What was the path right after that?
Yeah, so after I graduated, it was a little bit tough actually getting my first job.
Mm.
I went on a lot of interviews, but just maybe like any other job, or maybe even at the healthcare field, they want experience, right? They want 2 years of experience, but without having your first job, you don't have that 2 years of experience.
Mm.
So it's kind of like, it's a gamble a bit,
Yeah.
and you kind of have to try different avenues and see where it takes you. But I had applied at the St. Jude Medical Center as an inpatient clinical dietitian, and in that interview I had said, I am a hard worker. I'm very passionate about what I do, in nutrition dietetics, and I really want to help people. And, I will always, generate great work, and always, do my best. And I'm always open to learning. And kind of in a weird way was like, you have to just take a chance on me. You just have to believe me and what I'm saying. And, the interview process, it was a panel interview. There was 10 other dietitians.
Whoa.
I had to do case studies. I was there for probably like a total of 2 to 3 hours.
Oh my.
Interviewing. Yeah, interviewing. So it was a pretty rigorous interview process. But I think my advice also for maybe someone else applying to be like to a job as their first job is also personality is very important.
Oh yeah.
So I got along
Argue
very
with that.
well with, yeah, I got along so well with the other dietitians, and I was actually chosen over a more senior level dietitian. And it was because of um, how we all kind of got along.
The
Because,
chemistry was
the,
good.
the chemistry was good. And in reality, when you're working, right, you want to be around people that are going to motivate you, that are going to work well with you. So I think when you're interviewing, it's so important to remember that, to show your personality, to, be yourself.
Hmm.
I think that's so important.
Yeah.
That being yourself is what sets you apart from the rest, right?
Okay.
Because we all have, the degree. We all have the degree. We all went to school. We all took the same classes pretty much for the most part. So what's going to make you different? It's you. You are what is the added benefit for that company, or it's what you can bring to the table.
Excellent.
So to remember that, your individuality is so important also when it comes to interviewing. And
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. What types of patients did you see there? So I know it's St. Jude, and so I've seen the commercials of the children doing the commercials for St. Jude, and it just tugs at your heart.
Yes.
So,
So the St. Jude Medical Center in Fullerton is actually not the children's hospital. So it is the whole, it's just like a standard hospital, right? But actually, I think St. Jude Medical Center is a superior hospital.
oh yeah.
I never went to work and ever heard anyone complain about their job.
Oh,
Everyone was, like from any department, physicians,
wow.
nurses, um, pharmacy, and everyone loved being there. And I think it's because St. Jude did such an amazing job of doing like employee events and really discussing their mission and vision, and doing morning huddles where everyone would get together, and we would discuss different things, and we would just support each other. But for me, I saw everyone. I saw, every kind of disease process, diabetes, heart disease. So I would be in the ICU, I would be in step down. So I was really kind of like the floater in a way, because we had some dietitians that, they had their certain floors that they would be on, but I was kind of all over. I was the newest one.
Yeah,
So, but I think that was so great because it got me exposed to everything.
correct.
And in the real world,
Mhm.
when you leave the hospital, you don't leave your disease process and chronic illness at the hospital. You go home with that chronic illness, right? So, as wanting to be in the wellness side, right, I'm still dealing with those disease processes. They don't go away. So, having, knowledge of lab values and medications. And I know even for learning from you and from Loma Linda, it was always kind of advocated that maybe you start in clinical because it's so fresh
Yeah.
in your mind, and you want to kind of reinforce all that information right out the gate because you're so fresh. You had just, finished learning, all about it. And Loma Linda shines is that we have the medical center, which is one of the reasons why I chose to go to Loma Linda, is that we could have our labs actually in the hospital, as opposed to just, pen and paper. So I think, and that was really one of the reasons also why I chose Loma Linda, was because we could have that experience.
Yes.
So,
Hey.
yeah, it was kind of all over. And,
Then you switched over to outpatient. How
yes.
nice to have both worlds. You had inpatient first, and now you have a nice different experience.
Exactly. So the running joke when I was inpatient was anytime a consult for education would come in, they'd be like, give it to Jasmine, give it to Jasmine. I don't want to do diabetes education, give it to her, right? So I don't have my, I'm not a CDE, I'm not a certified diabetes educator, but as a dietitian, I can do the nutrition portion, and then typically a nurse can do the medication portion if our CDE wasn't there. We did have a CDE, but if in the case that she wasn't, I would typically be the chosen one to
Yeah.
take over for any educational consult, really. So because I just enjoyed it so much, I really wanted to help people start with those lifestyle changes. However, when you're in the hospital, you probably don't really care about making lifestyle changes at that time because you're in pain and your first priority is to get out of the hospital, which
Yeah.
is why outpatient is so important. So,
I agree.
because you can actually, you've resolved one issue and now you can tackle the next. It would be a lot for anyone, to be undergoing, procedures left and right, and then having someone, be telling you about, you should do this, this, this. It's like, right now, I'm not ready for it.
That's so
And readiness for change will make or break you. And
correct.
that's something we learn in psychology, right? So, the stages of change model, also learned it when I was at Loma Linda. So I had the opportunity to transition to the St. Jude Wellness Center.
Nice.
So that now reminded me of my experience that I had when I was at the Cleveland Clinic. And I had interviewed, obviously, for that position. I wasn't just given that position, I had to interview for it.
Oh,
Um,
really? Wow.
it was internal and external.
Okay.
But in that interview, I said, I'm the person for the job. There's no one else that can do the job better than I can do the job.
Wow. I love your confidence, and I mean that in such a good way. It's so admirable.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I got the position, and it was, I mean, there's so many amazing I can't even say it was the best thing that happened to me because there's so many amazing things that have happened in my journey.
Yeah.
But at the wellness center, I wore many hats. So I managed our weight loss, weight management program. I did corporate wellness where I would get hired or consulted by different companies. Could be any company, like a bank. One time I went to a toy company and I would do lunch and learn. So during their lunch hour, I would come do a presentation. One of my favorite ones was the 2020 trend, plant-based proteins, which to choose, which to avoid. So that's really fun. And I did monthly cooking classes. So I would do 4 recipes in an hour.
Wow,
We had a
that's a
teaching,
lot.
yeah, it was a lot, but we had a teaching kitchen. So we had the mirror on top,
Nice.
like in, in below Melinda kitchen, and Chef Corey's kitchen.
Yeah.
Um, so that was really fun. So kind of like in Food Network, right? So you kind of already have everything portioned out.
Perfect.
And you go through the different recipes, and some of the things you have to make ahead of time, and then everyone gets to taste test it. And then I did grocery store tours, which were super fun. I did it at Mother's Market, Sprouts, and Trader Joe's. I did it for the outpatient and then also the inpatient cardiac program. So I would do a heart healthy one as well, based on DASH and the Mediterranean diet and things like that. So, and just hypertension in general. So I did that. And then I wrote blog articles there as well. And then just taught different 6-week programs, like on anti-inflammatory diet and things like that. So, and like wellness programs. So I did a lot while I was there, and I was able to, and I actually did a little bit of blog videos and like blogging and things like that. I had just started. I had only done a couple of them, just very brief ones. But yeah, I was able to just gain so much experience in such a short amount of time because I had jumped into it, and they were like, okay, here we go. this is because I was the only dietitian there at the time. So
Wow.
I really had to learn quick. And
I love your go-getter attitude. You know, you're like, let's just do this.
yeah, I
Anything,
mean,
let's go.
there's only that's the way you learn, right? So it's,
Absolutely.
just gotta try, and you're gonna, fail at some things, but
And
you
it's
can learn.
okay because
Exactly,
you
it's
learn from the
okay.
failures.
Exactly. So every experience is a learning experience, whether it's a good one or a bad one. So yeah, I have really had the amazing opportunity to kind of get my hands in all these things and develop those skills, right? I wasn't doing public speaking as a clinical dietitian, but it was the first one I ever did, it was not great. I'm going to admit it. I was not great at all. I left being like, ooh, all right.
You had to start somewhere.
The next one will be better.
Yeah. There's
That's kind of the mindset, the
Yep,
next one will be better. And
absolutely.
the next one will be even better, and
There
so
you
forth
go.
and so forth. So over time, my confidence grew, and it's kind of funny now how I think about it. I'm like, it's what better than just to be talking and everyone's forced to listen to you. It's so great. But no, in all seriousness, my anxieties or stresses would go away when I would change my mindset, and I would think to myself, Jasmine,
Mhm.
all I'm trying to do, my mission in today, is to just give people information, whether they take it or they don't. I want to give them information they're able to understand very easily, and they can apply today. I
Yeah.
want them to leave with at least one thing from me.
Mhm.
So making it fun, making it easy, making it basic. And I remember, you know, typically when people think of dietitians, they think that, oh, they're going to be so like, do this, don't do this, right? Like really stern. But I'm very like playful in my presentations, and I try to interact and get a lot of feedback and kind of get to know my audience a bit. So at the end, they're like, you're not that bad. You're not that bad of a dietitian. Like, we like dietitians now. So,
That is fabulous.
yeah,
So then you're not there anymore.
no, I'm
You're working elsewhere.
not.
So how did this transpire to a different location?
Yeah. So I was at the, St. Jude Wellness Center, and I got to a point where, I think that it's time for me to maybe take my skills and bring it elsewhere and kind of make that transition and grow in a different way. I'm all about personal growth, and just seeing what the next thing is.
Good, good.
So I really, I had seen a healthcare company, Prentice Health, located in Laguna Hills, California. So I'm in Orange County. So and
Located in a very nice place
yes, I
too.
am in a very nice place. Couldn't be happier. And they are a continuity of care company. So they have hospice, home health, home care, residential care, but they didn't have any wellness component. And as a healthcare company, I think it's very important to introduce that wellness component as well.
Mhm.
So I had gone there, and I had said, hi, my name is Jasmine El Nabli, and I do X, Y, and Z, and I would love to work for your company and kind of start this new sector for you
Wow.
and make it as my initiative to bring health and wellness and that kind of corporate culture
Yeah.
um, to their employees, but also help them grow as a healthcare company, because preventative medicine and health and wellness, I strongly believe, is the future of our healthcare. And I think so many physicians and other healthcare professionals are really starting to turn an ear to preventative medicine and really focusing on functional medicine and integrative medicine. I'm seeing so many more physicians interested in doing that, or even starting their own wellness kind
Correct.
of component. So and I really believe in this company and support their mission. So we're better to kind of help them and also help, you know, their employees and the community. So
Wow.
that
So
was,
you approached them
mhm,
yourself
yeah.
and you made this presentation, you took initiative and you knew that they weren't even looking for somebody for this particular position, but you created this. You had a vision for it.
Mhm.
And you confidently went up to them.
Yes, that's exactly. And 4 interviews later and
Wow.
4 to 5 hours later, right? So, you know, because you gotta make it worth their while, right?
Yes,
So, you know,
so true.
showing them what you can do for them and what you can do, you know. So really, and that's why it's really important to kind of knowing where you shine as a dietitian. Like what skill sets are you really great at, or you know, what do you want to do? What is your mission as a dietitian, and just how can you manifest that?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so now I'm the corporate health and wellness director for Parentis Health.
Wow.
And it's really awesome because I have so much flexibility and creativity. And
So you're doing videos for them.
yes, so I do a multitude of different like vlogs and videos that I go post on LinkedIn, I post on YouTube, but then I also do internal employee wellness
Okay.
for them. And then for one of my pitches to them was extending the continuity of care model. So normally that ends at the patient, right? So it's you are caring for the patient, and I've kind of extended it to like the family members of those patients. So again, so
Excellent.
I kind of see myself, so it kind of like once you become a member or you're a client or a patient of Parentis, it's not only you, it's also your family. We're bringing in your family into ours as well.
It's a beautiful
Because
model.
yeah, so just because, you know, your, you know, mom or dad they may have diabetes or some other disease process, right? It doesn't mean that your family member can't benefit from a diabetic friendly recipe. They can't benefit from anti-inflammatory food information, right? So because a lot of other people also have underlying diseases. I mean, we really are living in a pretty sick nation. And some people don't even know they have chronic illnesses, this
It's true.
underlying, even if it's not manifested into a disease, just even just chronic
Just
inflammation.
yet, not manifested yet.
Exactly. So that's why incorporating like healthy lifestyle and eating well and exercising and moving is just so important. So I think anyone can benefit from this information. But again, I also have to focus my attention in these different avenues. So employee wellness is going to look a little bit different than maybe some of than corporate wellness or for the families, right? Because or we have a foundation that we pair older adults with children to improve their reading level. So it's giving purpose. So the older adults act as tutors for these younger adults to help improve their reading and education for success for their future. So it gives helps them excel in their life, and then it gives older adults feelings of purpose and sense of community. So my information for them would be maybe more on aging and exercises for the older population. So I've learned that, you know, information for everyone is information for no one.
Mm,
It has to be more specific than that. You
correct.
need to be more intentional with the information you're giving to certain populations and how they're going to um, get that information, receive it, if they're more reading, if they're more video. So what I really focus on is developing a wide variety of formats. So through vlog, through video, through written articles, through just text posts, through images. So I'm constantly creating. So I really consider myself a, you know, nutrition and wellness disseminator of knowledge through
Yeah.
different formats. And it's really fun because it lets me have my creative outlet that I really enjoy as well. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I'm giving information and I'm doing it, and it's really fun. So it is just kind of the dream for
You're a
anyone.
content creator, and your content is intentional.
Yes,
You know, it's nutrition based, but it's intentional for the different populations that you disperse the information to.
100%.
Yeah,
So,
great. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to you. And
okay.
what are your three practices, at least three, that you like to always engage in doing, nutrition wise, or just a self care practice?
Okay. So I feel like there's so many, right? So in
I know,
wellness,
there's so
right?
many.
You're like, oh, I have to
Especially
do
for you, a wellness person. Yes, yes, yes.
that. Exactly. So for me, my hobby was bodybuilding and fitness, and I've um, kind of gone down that route, but I've consistently exercised since that like passion sparked in my undergraduate education. So I
And
always
you also competed
Mhm.
during your master's.
I did compete during my master's, and I think it was really one of my busiest semesters as well. But I think I work best when I'm busiest.
Ah, I see.
So
Yeah,
because
you did great.
you have to be so on top of your time. But yeah, I placed. It was a state competition and first out of like 50. So it
Woo,
was, yeah, it was really exciting. It was
remember
good
that.
experience just because I know a lot of people. I don't know if I would do it again because of just kind of how extreme it is, but I'm really happy I went through the process because I know it's very trendy now to do, and I can relate to those people
Absolutely.
that compete and give them advice. But so I continue to exercise. I try to do 4 to 5 days a week, and I prioritize also rest days because I don't think you need to exercise every single day of the week. You need time to reset, to have your self-care times, even if that's like taking a bath or getting a massage or doing something like that or doing yoga. But along with that, with the practices, I make sure to get my protein in. So protein intake's very important to me. And how I do it is in smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day to keep me satiated, to be constantly giving my body some nutrition, and to just keep my blood sugar steady. I really honestly follow a diabetic diet, and I'm not even a diabetic. Like a diabetic diet can work for anybody.
True.
It's
It's a
blood sugar
balanced
control.
way of
And
eating. Mhm.
exactly. So that would be one of them. Another one that I always make sure to do is I always try to get at least one probiotic food in a day.
Good girl.
So whether that is non-fat Greek yogurt, or I've been really hooked on this Cleveland Kitchen beet kraut.
Oh, made out of beets.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's beets, red cabbage, and carrots, and
Okay.
I love that kind of more than just the typical sauerkraut.
Yeah.
So
You
I
make
will.
it yourself?
No, I buy, the brand is called Cleveland Kitchen. You can get it at like Sprouts or Mother's Market. Um,
Oh, okay. I think I've seen that. I should try that
a
brand.
little, yeah, I'm obsessed with it. So, or
Okay.
I'll have like a probiotic sparkling drink. There's one that I really like, the Kavita brand.
Mm,
There's a watermelon rose one that I really like, and then there's a lemon cayenne one. So I try to stick away from the super high calorie ones just
yeah,
because I typically don't like to drink my calories, and those are about 10 calories a bottle, and
perfect.
kind of works for me. So I don't have it every day, but every once in a while. But then the last thing I would say that I like to do is, well, it's difficult because I actually don't love drinking water, and
It's
hydration
yeah.
is so important. So I always make sure to have lemons, limes, and usually cucumber on me, or even those little bottles of pre-squeezed lemon or lime juice,
Yeah,
um,
perfect.
for on the go. So no excuse to not get your water in, because and it kind of makes it a little bit, spruces it up a bit. You kind of drink like, oh, I'm drinking spa water, so it's
There you go.
it makes me want to drink it a little bit more because I feel like I'm like helping with my health. And also Lemon water can help with your digestion and help with gastric reflux by introducing, people usually think, oh, I have, gastric reflux and, really like a lot of acidity, but introducing just a little bit can actually, it changes in your stomach and it alkalizes a bit. So can help with that. So that's one of the tips that I would also give to my clients that were having on their weight loss journey and trying to get more water in, is just, spruce it up a bit, make it a little bit exciting, or have a sparkling water, a LaCroix or something like that. So I try to get my water in, I make sure I get my protein and keep my blood sugar steady.
Okay.
And I try to get some probiotics in every day. So I would say that those are like my 3 musts, because we know how important even, probiotics and gut health is, and the gut brain connection, and with mood, right? It really makes a big difference. And but our gut microbiome changes every couple days. So even if you eat poorly and you don't feel that well, just kind of get right back at it, and you will feel better because it will change.
Yes. And so what advice would you give either someone who is in dietetics, either a dietetic student, or someone who's finishing up or they just graduated and they're at this point where they're like, okay, what is the next step in their career? Or it doesn't even have to be nutrition. Just someone who is just seeking what to do next in their life.
I would say try to find a mentor, which is kind of like what I did. Try to find a mentor, try to find an experience, and just go for it. Because the only way you're going to know if you like something is if you try it. And even if you don't like it, that's honestly sometimes even better, because then you realize you're eliminating through the things that you don't like. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But really kind of looking inward and seeing like what your personal mission is. Like what do you want to look back at the end of your life and say that you accomplished or say that you did? And for me, it's impacting the lives of people that I touch and the people that I work with, to help them lead longer, happier, healthier lives for them. So I would say definitely kind of see like, what are you really great at and what can you do, and mesh that with your interests and find a way to make it work and find a way to do it. And if it doesn't exist, create it for yourself. If it doesn't exist, just do it, because if you're good at something and if you shine at something, you will be successful in it.
There you go.
I think that's my best advice.
And it's
just go for it. Like, don't be scared. Everyone is scared to do stuff or take a step.
Right.
Just do it. You have nothing to lose. Absolutely. If you're confused what you're doing, you have nothing to lose anyway. So might as well go for it.
But you know what? It is absolutely well said from someone who has been there and done that, because that's exactly how you have done things. And it's so admirable.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So Jasmine, I want to say okay, so how can people connect with you? How can they see your content that you have on YouTube, or if they just want to read the articles that you've written?
So I post a lot of my content, almost all of it, on LinkedIn. So that's a great way to connect with me. I also have a health and wellness collaboration group where I encourage other health professionals, whether you're a dietitian or just in the wellness field, to join as a space where we can share the content that we've created and also collaborate with one another. So let's say I wanted to do a video with another dietitian and found someone that was in the same interests as me, and I would reach out to them, or just sharing our content and being able to talk about it and like have a discussion about it. So if you go on LinkedIn, you can just type in my name, Jasmine El Nabli. And then I also have an Instagram account. It's at Wellness with Jasmine. So started that fairly recently from a previous personal account, because I really wanted to focus the attention on people that wanted the information I was providing and want to engage, which is why I made a separate account. for wellness, for nutrition, for health, because I really want an engaged community.
Mhm.
And YouTube, the same. Research my name. I tried to kind of get it on all platforms where it's just my name. So if you just type it in, you'll see definitely YouTube, definitely LinkedIn, and definitely on Instagram. I would say are my three main hubs
Oh,
that I focus on: nutrition, fitness, and mindset.
yes, perfect. So I'm going to take those and put the links in
Okay,
the show notes so people can also find
perfect.
it there too. So I'm glad that those who listen will be able to engage with you too
Yeah.
and ask you questions.
Oh,
And
100%. If anyone has questions, I'm, you know, just a message away. So
perfect.
always happy to give advice, always happy to share my experiences
Yeah.
and help. I know I've been fortunate enough to have individuals believe in me and mentor me and help me grow. And I think it's only right that I do the same for others. So I'm very much happy to do that for anyone interested in or confused of where to start.
Yeah.
So
No, that's great. I'm glad people will be able to get in touch with you. And you know what? The previous episode for Nutra Narratives is the current president of Nutrition Council Student Association. And so now
oh,
I have you on, and you were a past president
yeah,
of
I
Nutrition
was.
Council Student Association. So we've had good memories working together back then already. And I already saw your leadership skills back then. And to see you move forward in your career is just, oh my goodness. It warms my heart. It just makes me so proud seeing you and where you continually, spread your wings out. I'm very proud of the work that you continue to do and put out for people to gravitate and learn from. So
You.
it's
And
been
you were so instrumental, also in my education, um, being a part of the Student Council Association and helping me grow as a leader and kind of recognizing where I can improve as well. Like I've always been open to suggestion and growth. And I know that we did that together. So that was very helpful for me. And our capstone class, where that was really the first time that more professionally we got to do our chat and chew, where we did a 30-minute sit down building a better breakfast. And then
I
I
remember.
did storage tips, right? So
Yes.
even information that applies today that I share as well.
Wow.
So that was the first time that I got experience doing more media was in your capstone class. And again, that's also another, Cleveland Clinic was a trigger of, okay, I want to do wellness. I want to be, in the media. And then that class actually gave me the more experience to see, okay, what would it be like to do that? And I thought that you were very encouraging for me during that time. And I had gotten such great feedback from you that it really gave me the confidence to pursue that. So you were also very integral of like where I am today. I know we haven't spoken in a couple of years, but it's very true that, without that, I don't know also if I would be where I am. So I want to thank you for being that and also being a great mentor as well. So
Oh.
those are really fun, really exciting, and
Yeah, well,
appreciate
I saw it. I saw it back then, and I'm like, hey, this girl, this
it.
it for being in front of the camera because
Yeah.
you were already so relaxed and natural at it, engaged. I'm like, ooh, ooh, I can't wait to see because it was so good. And now when I see your videos, your vlogs, I'm like, that's it. That's it. So cool for this teacher to see it years later, and you are this amazing professional doing what she loves to do. So, ooh,
Thank
guy.
you.
I love seeing where you are now. So, thank you for sharing your time. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it so much. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you for sharing your time as well. I appreciate it as well.